Good day and welcome to another episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about Terry Pratchett. Specifically, we're going to talk about his book from Discworld, Witches Abroad. So, if you want to know what I thought about Witches Abroad, or you're interested in Terry Pratchett's Discworld, stay tuned. This will be a spoiler-free review coming right up. Alright, so before we get into Witches Abroad, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I do upload videos every Tuesday and Friday, sometimes on some other days of the week as well. So make sure you hit that bell notification so you know when I upload another video. You can also join me down on the Discord, which will be linked below. And you can join me over on Patreon as well. Also linked below. Alright, so let's get into this. Witches Abroad by Terry Pratchett. So this is, I'm not even sure which number, 12th Discworld book, I think, by Terry Pratchett. So this one is, of course, about a couple of witches that, well, are traveling abroad. So this one is all about stories. Now, originally, I wasn't planning on actually reviewing this because I don't know that I have a whole lot to say about this particular book specifically. But here we go. So, Witches Abroad. This one, as I mentioned, is all about stories. This is basically Terry Pratchett's version or retelling of the whole Cinderella story, but thrown in the mix some witches. One of which happens to be the new fairy godmother, so she has to step up to the plate and help our Cinderella character, or Ella as she's known in this book. And the thing with that is that they're trying to actually stop Cinderella from marrying the prince. Call her Cinderella. She's not really Cinderella in this story. It's not actually her character's name, but it's basically Terry Pratchett's version or retelling of the Cinderella story. So the whole concept behind this book is about how stories have the power to shape and change our lives, which is really awesome because within this book, it is the stories that shape and change the lives of our characters and how they evolve and become different people and how those stories impact their lives and change what and who they are and their circumstances within their life. And it's just this really interesting concept and idea to have a book about stories and about how stories have the power to change our lives. That is just really cool. And I love the way Terry Pratchett approaches that. The thing with Discworld books is that they all have an underlying message. They all have this underlying philosophy built within the absurdity of the story that he is writing and that he's telling us, which is awesome. And it's just a really cool thing about the Discworld. It's part of why I love the Discworld so much. And part of the underlying philosophy of this book I found is well, not just the idea that stories have the power to change our lives, but that we are the masters of our own stories. As one of the witches comments and points out, is you can't write people into stories because you put them in a box. They need to create their own stories. They need to decide what their story is, and they need to follow their story as it progresses. And that's just a really cool idea behind this book and behind the concept of Terry Pratchett's Witches Abroad. And of course, scattered throughout the book, there's references to other fairy tale like stories. There's a reference with Three Little Pigs to Red Riding Hood, for example, and pumpkins. Everything with the fairy godmother is obsessed with pumpkins. She's turning everything into pumpkins because she doesn't know what else to do or how else to do things. So it's just pumpkins, 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 which is really hilarious. At the end of the day, just everything she does to try to get them out of trouble, it's turn it into a pumpkin. So pumpkin is definitely a big part of this book. Overall, I'd have to say I really enjoyed Witches Abroad. It was a fun, good, entertaining read, as most Discworld books are. And Terry Pratchett is just that genius in his writing. He has this absurdism built within the Discworld. Underlying that absurdism is fantastic ideas and conversations about philosophy and exploring all kinds of ideas and concepts built within Discworld to explore our own societies, our own culture, and he pokes fun at everything while having that discussion. And I just love the idea of stories having the power to shape and change our lives and our world and everything about that. And that's just really awesome. So I really enjoyed Witches Abroad. This is just a short little review today, but overall, great read. Discworld in general is a great read, so check it out if you haven't already. I highly recommend it. And, you know, as always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join me on Patreon or in Discord. I'll have that link below. And until next time, keep on reading. Bye.